All right, we have Sunday night football, Baltimore at Jacksonville. And of course, we're over at Underdog Fantasy, finding out where we can get an edge with our bets over here. And by the way, if you haven't already, go over to Underdog Fantasy. They make fantasy sports super easy. You don't need to worry about year-long stuff. You can literally hop in tonight for the game and make your picks and win some money. And while you're over there and you sign up, use promo code RUMBLE, 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 and they'll match your first deposit up to $500. All right, because we love our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. So here we are. Let's see where we have some edges. If you're new to the channel, and welcome, first of all. What I like to do is, as you can see over on my locals page at gameon.locals.com, this is all free over here. I like to break down the games and figure out where the edges are, meaning I look at what Underdog Fantasy is offering for contest picks, and then I look at the sports books and I see where things are off compared to the sports books. Because we know the sports books are probably a little bit more accurate than Underdog Fantasy. And as you can see, breaking them down, here's the edges that I listed, and a lot of the ones that I'm listing are green. I'm showing you that, like this one, Fryermuth over 2.5 catches -179. That one hit last night. I mean, that one was easy peasy. Pittman under. I mean, that one was scary, but he got injured, so we cashed that one. But I try to give you guys the odds over there. So tonight we're breaking down where the edges are. So let's start with Lamar Jackson. All right, we got Lamar Jackson. His pass attempts 29.5. We're looking at that on the sportsbook. That's a -126. So you can get that at even money. Here over at Underdog Fantasy, that's not a bad play. Lamar Jackson under 19.5 completions is also a -126. Lamar Jackson under 2. This one's a big edge here. So we've got Lamar Jackson under 216.5 pass yards. The sports book have it at 213.5 -114. So actually, let's see, -130. Sorry, correction. So they have 213.5 -114, and on here it's 216.5. So you're getting a huge edge because the sportsbook is telling you it's likely that Lamar is not going to go over 213. All right, it's likely he's not, and you're getting a 3-yard edge. I would take that all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. What else do we have with Lamar Jackson? Under his 9.5 rush attempts is -130. Lamar Jackson over 48.5 rushing yards is a huge edge because the sports books have him at 51.5. So here on Underdog, they have him at 48.5 rush yards. The sports books are saying no, it's more likely he's going to get to 52. That's 51.5 at -114. So if you like Lamar to get some yards today rushing on the ground, you might want to look and take advantage here of the 48.5 rushing yards over on Underdog. Moving on, some of the other edges we have. We don't really have much with Gus Edwards that I can see. I'm just going to scroll down the line here. Odell Beckham. I think we had a couple with Odell, or at least one. Yes, Odell over 39.5 receiving yards. The sportsbook have him at 40.5 at -143. So they're telling you, and Odell's been on fire lately too. So they're telling you it's likely Odell's going to get 40 yards receiving. Zay Flowers has some edges himself. Where is he at? Got Zay Jones and Zay Flowers mixed up here. Zay Flowers over 5 receptions. The sportsbooks are telling you that the likelihood of getting 5 receptions at least is -179. So you got to look towards the over 5 receptions on that one, because at worst, what they're telling you is you're probably going to push at worst with that bet. Moving along here, Isaiah Likely, all these guys. Justin Tucker, by the way, the odds of Justin Tucker making 2 field goals tonight is where are we at? Tucker over 1.5 field goals made is -137. So you got an edge there. And I'd rather do that than the kicking points, because to get over 7 kicking points, unless you get 1 field goal, and what is that? To get over that would be five touchdowns. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not likely. It's more likely that Justin Tucker makes 1.5 field goals made. So I'd rather do that. If anything, I'd go under kicking points here. But you got to watch out though. Tucker might make 3 field goals, right? Might make 3 field goals. So I'd rather just go over 1.5 field goals made in that one. I don't think we had anything with Keaton Mitchell, did we? Doesn't look like it. Moving on. Trevor Lawrence. We had some edges with Trevor Lawrence. Under 35.5 pass attempts is -127. Trevor Lawrence over 228.5 passing yards is -127 as well. And Trevor Lawrence under 13.5 rushing yards is -124. Do we really think he's going to scramble around on that bum ankle? I don't know. I don't think he's really going to want to try. And you know they're going to get pressure on him. So under 13 and a half rushing yards seems like a winner to me. And I like that one a lot. Travis Etienne, I believe, has an edge. Let's see. What did we find? Etienne over 54 and a half rushing yards is minus 124. So we have a little bit of an edge with Etienne and his rushing yards. Calvin Ridley, I mean, he's a big play guy. So you can get the books have Calvin Ridley at 50 and a half. Here on Underdog, Calvin Ridley over 48 and a half receiving yards. The book has him at 50 and a half minus 114, and he is a big play dude. So I would, if you like him tonight, I would look over his receiving yards over. Let's see. Did I skip Aguilar? Where's that? I think I did skip Aguilar over. Let's go back up real quick. I skipped Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar over 13 and a half receiving yards. I mean, he could do that in one catch, right? Is minus 130. So there is an edge there. Continuing to move on. Let's go to Zay Jones. Zay Jones under 41 and a half receiving yards. The books have him at under 40 and a half at minus 143. So what they're trying to tell you is that tonight, Zay Jones is not going to have himself a night. Evan Ingram, on the other hand, over 5 receptions. So over 5.5 receptions, the books have it at minus 143. So there is a pretty big edge here with Evan Ingram to get 6 catches tonight. They're saying it's pretty likely that he's going to get 6 catches. Lawrence is going to be looking his way. And I think that makes sense with Baltimore's defense and giving up points to tight ends. Lawrence should be pressured and looking to get the ball out quick to the big man. And then we also have Rashawn Jenkins. Where's he at? Rashawn Jenkins over 5.5 tackles and assists. That is minus 126 over in the book. So you got a good edge there. And Brandon McManus. We look at this. Brandon McManus, I love looking at these kicker ones. 5.5 kicking points, which means if he gets 2 field goals, that's 6 kicking points. That's a winner. What are the odds that Jacksonville makes 2 field goals tonight? Well, the odds of that, we've got Brian McManus and the Jacksonville Jaguars to make 2 field goals tonight is minus 130. I do like that. A little bend, don't break defense from Baltimore. And there you have it. There are the Underdog fantasy picks. And like I said, make sure you tune into the show and you can find out what we're on. And if you want to know exactly how I'm going to parlay, mix and match all these, you got to go over to gameon.locals.com or sportspicks.locals.com, and I will be posting those here shortly. And if you do, go sign up today over at Underdog Fantasy and use promo code RUMBLE, and they'll match your first deposit up to $500, and you too can start winning with us today. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the morning show tomorrow. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out. I'll see you guys later.